Nisqually, your name, please.
My name is what you asked
Yes.
for?
I did.
No, I'm not Peyton Ansley John Milton. I am the agent authorized to represent Peyton Ansley John Milton as written in all capital letters.
And how do you choose to go forward?
Pro se, please.
Okay,
Your Honor.
you even know the right term. Okay.
And there's no victim in this alleged crime. I might preface this with, I have gone to anti-kidnapping training. I was inhumanely subject to what I would define as torturous actions.
All right, guys, today we've got one of the dumbest sovereign citizens to ever walk into a courtroom. This dude really thinks he's cracked the legal system with some ancient sovereign script like it's a cheat code, and the judge, he's straight up laughs in his face. And honestly, I don't blame him. How do you argue against reality with that much confidence? At what point do these people realize the law doesn't care about their made-up fantasy rules? Like, seriously, how did we get to a place where this many people think they can outsmart the court with nonsense? This guy is peak delusion. But hey, drop your guesses in the comments on what you think his IQ is. I'm thinking somewhere between room temperature and a refrigerator light bulb. Let's dive in.
And as to Mr. Milton, is there a competency concern, or is this
I am not represented by anybody besides myself in my sovereign capacity. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak to him. I read him the reports. He was
Who is him?
Don't interrupt. I'm letting
I read
Ms.
him.
Langley
I
go.
read
Now,
him.
You just sit quietly.
Thank
I
you.
read him the report so that he will understand the charges against him. He didn't wish to hear anything more about his rights, and he does not wish to be represented. Thank you.
As the agent for Peyton Ansley John Milton, you are indicating to me that you're quite familiar with Peyton Ansley John Milton, and that's basically you. Is that correct?
I am the agent authorized to represent Peyton Ansley John Milton as written in all capital letters.
All right. And you understand, for my purposes, though that language doesn't make any sense. So
No, I do not.
I understand. Okay. Well, I'm telling you that. And so I am, until you disabuse me of the motion or the notion, I am inclined to believe that you are both the agent and the person. So, and it's in
I'm
all
not a
caps,
person.
by the
I am
way.
one of the people. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. So for the record, that's my finding. Yeah, hold on. We're not done.
Okay.
Have a seat.
You got it.
And thank you. Mr. Sharp, let me swear you in. Swear the testimony and probable cause application to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I so swear, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Sharp.
So this information comes from a report of Officer Evers of the Lacey Police Department. She responded to an unwanted person complaint at a 7-Eleven store. Upon arriving, Officer Evers contacted staff who advised her that it was a white male, approximately 5'5", with a beard, wearing green long-sleeved flannel. Staff advised that he was intoxicated and belligerent. At one point, the male stated he would be waiting outside when they got off work, that they asked the male to leave multiple times and he refused. Once they called the police, the male returned to his Toyota 4Runner, that it was parked outside the gas station. Staff stated that they didn't feel safe, wanted the male trespassed. Officer made contact with the male, immediately was able to identify him as Peyton Milton. Officer knows Mr. Milton is a local transient that lives out of his car, has had several social contacts with him. Officer Evers asked Mr. Milton if he was just inside the store. He stated that he was. He stated that he was too drunk to be held accountable.
Out of all the things to say when getting arrested, this sovereign citizen really went with, I'm too drunk to be held accountable. Not, I didn't do it, not, you got the wrong guy. Just straight up admitting guilt and blaming it on being wasted. Only a sovereign citizen could think that's a real defense. Like, bro, you're out here drunk at a 7-Eleven causing chaos and your genius move is to play the too drunk card? It's always the same story with these guys. Zero understanding of the law, but 100% confidence they're above it. At this point, it's like they all took the same fake legal course off Reddit. Let me know if I'm crazy, but these people seriously act like professional victims. All right, let's jump back in, because it only gets messier from here.
Officer advised Mr. Milton that he'd be trespassed from the 7-Eleven, and he stated, I understand what you have to do. Mr. Milton offered to manually push his car to a gravel lot about 25 yards from the 7-Eleven so that he wasn't on the property. since he was too intoxicated to drive. Officer agreed and gave Mr. Milton until nightfall to push the car out of the lot. Officer provided Mr. Milton with his phone, and he replied, "Can I go back in and charge it?" The officer advised him that he could not charge his phone at this 7-Eleven and that if he entered the store again, he would be arrested. Officer provided Mr. Milton with a copy of the trespass form. And then at 16:23 hours, staff called dispatch advising that Mr. Milton was back inside the store. Staff advised that Mr. Milton said he was too drunk to be held accountable, and that he left again once they called dispatch, and this time he again left his cell phone in the store. Officer then contacted Mr. Milton. He again stated that he was too drunk to be held accountable. Officer noted that Mr. Payton was intoxicated but functional and able to understand the officer's instructions. Officer advised Mr. Milton that he was under arrest for trespass, detained him without incident. He was then booked into the county jail. The Nisqually jail.
On the charge of criminal trespass first degree, is the city making a motion to revoke the deferral on the assault conviction or
Yes,
on the
Your Honor.
assault case?
Based on the new law violation, yes.
Thank you. And let's see,
Now, will I get a moment here to articulate anything?
I'll let you know. So sit
Appreciate
tight.
it.
I'm still working through the process. Thank
Of
you.
course.
All right. So, Mr. Sharp, it appears that the assault was not a deferral. It was a stipulated order of continuance.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. So we'll note the city's motion to revoke the continuance on the assault charge based on the allegation of a new law violation. And Mr. Milton is asking not to be represented by counsel. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's have a little chat about that. If you choose to represent yourself, which is your right, you can make that
Okay.
choice. But I want to make sure that we make a record that you are doing so knowingly and voluntarily. Ms. Langley is an attorney. I'm going to guess that you have not gone to law school and become a member of the bar. Is that correct?
I can neither confirm nor deny that information, actually.
Okay. So not being an attorney, you understand that if you represent yourself, the court cannot assist you in recognition of the fact that you're not an attorney. So you will end up missing things you're supposed to do. You will do things you're not supposed to do. And all of those things will likely work to your detriment. So it is never a smart thing to represent yourself. And frankly, if an attorney were to say they would represent themselves, I would have the same conversation with them and advise them, I think it's a foolish decision to make. You, however, have that right, as I pointed out, but I want to make sure you understand you have the right to have counsel. You have the right to have me appoint counsel, or you can hire counsel. And if you ask me to appoint counsel, I can appoint counsel at no cost. So you understand all of that.
I appreciate that, and I do. Thank you.
And how do you choose to go forward?
Pro se, please.
Okay,
Your Honor.
even though the right term, okay?
Your Honor, I was not read my Miranda rights this most recent time. I believe I'm supposed to request a voyeur of the body cams.
This sovereign citizen goes pro se because of course he does, and now he's asking the judge how to get the body cam footage. Bro, you literally have a lawyer sitting next to you on Zoom ready to handle that exact thing, and you said no, just to turn around and beg for help from the judge? Like, what? Make it make sense. Judges aren't your personal legal assistants. This is what blows my mind about sovereign citizens. They act like they've cracked some secret legal cheat code, but they can't even figure out basic court procedure. If you're going to reject a lawyer, at least pretend you know what you're doing. This guy's fumbling legal terms like he's ordering off a menu. Your Honor, how do I request the body cam thingy? Like, bro, come on. Sovereign citizens really think stubborn confidence is a substitute for actual knowledge. Let me know, was this peak delusion, or have you seen worse?
Yourself, for purposes of
Okay.
today.
I'll require 4 to 6 hours of unhindered internet access so that I can properly represent myself. If you would
Okay, did you
write that
read-
into a court
Read your
order.
form on your constitutional rights.
Did I read my form? I don't believe I was provided anything,
Okay, is there a corrections officer there?
Mr. Upton.
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's present Mr. Milton a copy of the rights form and have him read it. And then he and I can talk about it.
Yes, Your Honor, there's one taped to the desk right in front of it.
Okay, why don't you take a minute and read it? Let me know when you're done reading it, Mr. Miller.
Appreciate you. I haven't
we're
been
waiting.
Mirandized, so it's hard for me to even start since I can't technically be charged with anything. And there's no victim in this alleged crime.
I know, all I'm asking right now is for you to read the rights and tell me that you have done so.
All right. Would you please silence yourself? Forgive me.
And actually, Ms. Langley, if you'll unmute, because I have some questions for you regarding other cases.
Have completed the reading, sir.
All right, thank you. I'll talk about that with you in just a moment, as soon as I finish this document I'm working on.
Thank you.
Any question about those rights that are on that form?
Not particularly.
Okay, thank you. All right, so what the question before the court now is whether I'm going to hold you on bail. The city has asked for $500 cash or bond on each case. Just address that issue. Don't address the underlying facts, because to the extent that you do so, any statement you say regarding that can be used against you on these
Okay.
cases. So right now, just address the issue of whether you should be released or not.
Appreciate you. Yes, I would like to request being released on personal recognizance. And the reason being is because there were several things articulated in the statement that were absolutely not true. For one, I was
Okay, yeah, hold
not in
on.
possession of a no worries. I was not in possession of a cell phone, as I had my vehicle, my phone, my computer, my passport, and every physical possession stolen from me last time I was under arrest for defending a senior citizen in this community. The same day that Officer Tittle refused to search the man who stole my key.
Okay, anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay.
Unless you would allow me to fill in some details that they failed to read me my Miranda rights, and I wasn't taking a statement from in both questioned cases in question.
All right, so what the case of Miranda tells us is that if you make any statements while under arrest prior to being read your Miranda rights, the prosecutor is limited in its ability to present those statements to the court. It doesn't have any other purpose other than whether something you say can be used against you. That's the whole purpose of Miranda. Doesn't mean they can't go forward with a criminal charge.
Oh, I was never aware of that.
Shocker. Another sovereign citizen who has no clue how the law works. It's like they're spawning out of nowhere, each one more clueless than the last. Do they have a training camp where they just study bad legal advice from Facebook? The confidence they have while being 100% wrong is almost impressive. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them cited Minecraft law in court. Why do you think this trend is growing? Let me know in the comments. Now let's dive back.
Right, which is one of the reasons. Don't want to represent yourself, but you know, I've explained that to you now, but I just want to make sure. So you still wish to represent yourself?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Seem like a sharp guy. So
Appreciate you, Your Honor.
seem dedicated to it. Okay. Based on the outstanding warrant out of Skagit County, I will hold in $500 cash or bond bail on each case, total $1,000 cash or bond. And I'll remind you, you're to have no contact with the 7-Eleven store, no criminal law violations, not consume any alcohol, marijuana, not enter any bar or tavern. And give me some realistic expectation. Are you going to be able to post bail or likely not?
You know, if the minimum that I'm allowed to throw on a bail is 300 and I have to bail out for 2 things, then I'm certain I would need to acquire a phone number that I don't have in order to make that happen. And so I would have to say that it may be closer to impossible this time around.
Okay. Well, you may know from your history that the bail here is usually 10% of what's ordered. So $50 on each case is what a bonding company would want from you. So just, I don't know
Cool.
whether
Well,
that
I have
changes anything.
$100. Isn't that
Okay. All right. Thank you. I will set this for 3 weeks from today at 1:30 in the afternoon. So on Monday, the 24th of April, for what we call a pretrial, Mr. Milton. And at the pretrial hearing, you will have received information from the city prior to that as to any offer to settle the case. Just so you know, you don't have to accept it. But they will be contacting you to give you whatever offer they have. And then you'll tell the court at that time whether you wish to accept the offer and enter whatever arrangement is made, or whether you wish to go to trial. So that'll be what we discuss on the 24th.
Awesome.
And if
In the
you-
meantime, will I be allowed 4 to 6 hours of unhindered internet access so that I can represent myself?
Yeah, I do not regulate the jail, so you're gonna have to talk to the folks at the jail.
If
and-
you write it as a court order, I'm certain that they will be more likely to comply than if you don't.
All right, I'm not gonna write it as a court order. Like I say, I don't mess with how the jails run their jail, but
Speaking
they've
of,
heard
by
you,
the
and
way,
Mr. Sharp has heard you, and we'll go
on
forward that
a
way.
side note, if I may, Your Honor, during intake, and I might preface this with, I have gone to anti-kidnapping training. I was inhumanely subject to what I would define as torturous actions. It was by CO Patero. I have nothing against the man, but he only sought to escalate a situation physically that could have been de-escalated with a verbal warning, a verbal, hey, knock your stuff off, a verbal, and I was completely compliant physically, as you can see on camera if you look in holding C on the night that I was intaken. And when I was asked to be picked up and seated, they had refused and told me on their paper that they checked on me every 15 minutes when I was checked on about 3 times the first 2 hours and about twice in the last half an hour. So,
All right, we got that.
Yep, appreciate you.
All right. Thank you.
Well, this one was definitely something. I actually enjoyed this case just because the judge was hilarious. His sarcastic little jabs had me cracking up the entire time. If you rewatch the hearing, you'll catch him smirking, like he's trying not to burst out laughing. And honestly, who could blame him? I mean, how do you keep a straight face when a sovereign citizen says they were kidnapped, aka arrested, for breaking the law? Like, bro, that's not how words work. By that logic, speeding tickets are armed robbery and taxes are extortion. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they believe that too. These guys live in their own legal fantasy world where yelling, "This is illegal," is supposed to reverse time. They twist every definition to fit their narrative, then act shocked when it doesn't work. At what point do they realize losing every case means maybe they don't actually know the law? Anyway, I'm wrapping it here. This one was a classic. Let me know what you thought in the comments and drop your IQ guesses for this guy while you're at it. The judge said he was smart, but yeah, I'm not seeing it.